Capital as we join you from Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland.
Set for football now on a rainy Sunday afternoon.
And we are underway from Commander's Field. Now Lewis selects to return it. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. To throw on the first play, McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
You talk about this Washington defense.
They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So opening drive, third down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on third down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a three-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. McCarthy operating from the gun.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Sticking with a pass, here's McCarthy. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Dorrance Armstrong coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 15 yards the pickup. First down, Washington.
Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Flushed out right. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. 43 yards rushing for him on their opening drive of the contest, and it's now 1st and goal.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing now is Daniels.
Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
McCarthy now on first down. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down. You talk about this Washington defense.
They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it?
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
McCarthy going to throw again.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Now a 2nd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 3rd down, they'll throw with McCarthy. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Going for it, here's McCarthy. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
To throw is Daniels. That's complete to the tight end, Werner.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field, diving to grab it? No, he didn't. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Off the play fake, Daniels. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this 1st half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me...
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. To the air goes Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Now a 2nd and 2.
I'm here all day. 51 the mic, boy, 51.
Daniels looking to throw.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Here's Daniels. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Austin Eckler with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now McCarthy.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
McCarthy to throw on 1st and 10.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side.
And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders, it's not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Now Lewis selects to return it. And good coverage defensively. They wouldn't let him get ahead of steam going, and he'll be brought down at the 15.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before break.
McCarthy to Jefferson on the slant.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Robinson up the middle. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
To the air with McCarthy.
Eluding the pressure right.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On first down, McCarthy. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down.
That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Quan Martin. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Andre Cisco there on the stop. Now a 2nd and 6. Now Daniels.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked up by Andre Cisco. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Sliding out of the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Dorrance Armstrong able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory.
He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Throwing is McCarthy.
And that's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position, When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On second down, another shot for Robinson.
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter.
Back now at Commanders Field.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 11. 137 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
The Commanders going to bring out the field goal unit.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Now McCarthy throwing on 1st down. This one brought in by Jefferson.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
The 1st down screen pass, good for 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And this offense on third down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. An inside give to Jones. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll go with Jones. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
The one thing I have learned about this league, more and more, you've got to take some chances. You know, if you play everything conservatively and play everything exactly like, okay, I know what to do in each situation, I don't think you're going to get very far. I love the call there, going for it, even on his own side of the field.
Yeah, and even though you're on your own side of the field, they were creeping towards midfield, so not as crazy as if they were back at their own 20.
Showed a little faith in the defense too, right?
Yep. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here's McCarthy. Complete. Jefferson to target. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
1st and 10. Here's McCarthy. He gets it to Addison.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts.
And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy.
And my goodness, another interception.
picked off by Quan Martin. And the Commanders are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Washington, they finish oh so close to perfection in the regular season, but this win in the final weekend gives them a final mark of 16-1.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Minnesota,
they will indeed limp to the finish line, unfortunately, as they close out a 6-11 campaign.
And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.